Good morning, dear students of class 8. Welcome to the English online learning class. Today we are going to take up part 2 of the first lesson of your English reader Honeydew. Now first let us quickly recap what we did in the first class of this lesson. The best Christmas present in the world, part 2. This is what we are going to read today. Now, in part 1, we did that the narrator had gone to a junk shop in Bridport and he needed to buy a roll-top desk. He found one and it was very old, say early 19th century. It was made of pure oak and he had always wanted to buy one, but he could not buy because it was too expensive. Now, this one that he found in a junk shop in Bridport was in a bad condition, but then it was cheap. The roll top was broken in several places, and even one leg of it was very badly repaired. There were burnt marks, scratch marks, all down on one side. But then it was cheap, and so he thought he would buy it because he could repair this roll-top desk. But then finally he thought that he should buy it, although it would be a risk and real challenge to repair the desk. He paid the man and he brought this desk to his workroom at the back of the garage. Workroom, the place where he was repairing, it was his workroom. And he began working on it on Christmas Eve, a day before Christmas. The night before Christmas is called as Christmas Eve. He removed the roll top completely and he pulled the drawers. The veneer, that is a thin layer of plastic or a decorative wood that is made on the furniture, it was almost lifted everywhere, means it was damaged, and it appeared like water and fire both had damaged the top of the desk. Now he started pulling the drawers, and the last drawer was very badly stuck. So he had to use lot of brute force, rough force, in order to take it out. He used his fist, and then the drawer finally opened, and there he could see there was a secret drawer, and inside that a small tin box, and on the top of it was sellotape with a piece of 9 note paper, Jim's last letter received on January 25, 1950. Now, it was also written it was to be buried with me when the time comes. That is, when the person dies. Now, the narrator thought it would not be right to open it because it was somebody else's letter. But then, curiosity. He just wanted to know what is inside what is written in the letter. So, inside the box, there was an envelope, and the address read, Mrs. Jim McPherson, 12 Copper Beaches, Bridport. So, the person who was the receiver of this letter was Mrs. Jim McPherson, and the address was also given. He took out the letter. He unfolded it. He opened it, and it was written in pencil, dated at the top, December 26, 1940. So, on this date, the letter was written. Now, part 2 is what we are doing. Dear Connie. Connie is the name of the person who has received the letter. Probably Mrs. Jim McPherson, because the address was given on the envelope. So she was referred as Connie. I write to you in much happier frame of mind because something wonderful had just happened. So the person was writing that I'm very happy because something nice has happened. I must tell you about at once. We were all standing in our trenches yesterday morning, Christmas morning. So, what are trenches? Long, deep ditches in the ground. And in these trenches, soldiers hide. So, probably the place from where it was written was the battleground. And we were all standing in our trenches yesterday morning. And yesterday morning was Christmas morning. It was crisp and quiet all about. It was very silent, a beautiful morning as I have ever seen, as cold and frosty as Christmas morning should be. So, Christmas morning is very cold in the same way that morning was also. I should like to be able to tell you that we all began it, but the truth, I am ashamed to say that Fritz began first, somehow, saw a white flag waving from the trenches across opposite. Then they were calling out to us across no man's land, Happy Christmas, Tommy, Happy Christmas. So the Fritz here refers to the German name, German soldier. He said, I should like to tell you that we should have started it, but the truth is that it came from the German soldiers. White flag was waving from the trenches opposite, that is opposite of the battlefield, the opponent side, and they were waving white flag, and they were calling out to us across no man's land. No man's land is the land whom nobody has claimed. So no country has claimed. That is called the no man's land. Happy Christmas, Tommy. They are referring to the English soldiers, and they were cheering them. They were wishing them Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. When we had gone over the surprise, some of us shouted because it was wartime and nobody wished each other. And now the German soldiers were wishing the English soldiers Happy Christmas. So some of us replied back, Same to you, Fritz, same to you. I thought that would be that. We all did. Now, the person who is writing the letter is telling Connie, I thought that that would be all right, but then something else happened. Then suddenly one of them was up there in his grey greatcoat, waving a white flag. Don't shoot us, lad, someone shouted. He said, Don't shoot us. We've not come for war today. And no one did. Then there was another Fritz up on the parapet, and another. Keep your heads down. I told man, it's a trick, but it wasn't. So I tried to guide my side soldiers, the English soldiers, that it is a trick. They are cheating us so that we can raise our heads and they can shoot us down. One of the Germans was waving a bottle above his head. So they were in a mood to celebrate and they were waving a bottle over his head. It's a Christmas day, Tommy. We have schnapps, we have sausage. We meet you, yes. So let us have a party. Sausages, schnapps, a kind of German drink from grain. We all have this ready with us. Let us have a party. By this time, there were dozens of them walking towards us across no man's land and not a rifle between them. Little Private Morris was first up. Come on, boys. What are we waiting for? And then there was no stopping them. I was the officer. So now the English soldiers started responding. And I also, because being an English officer, I have to also join. I should have stopped them there and then, my soldiers. I should have told them not to move, but then I did not. I suppose, but the truth is that it never even occurred to me I should. But I never thought I should. It did not occur to me because the German soldiers, they were coming towards us with a mood to celebrate the Christmas and I could not stop. All along their line and ours, I could see men waving slowly towards one another, grey coats, khaki coats, meeting in the middle. And I was one of them. I was part of this. In the middle of the war, we were making peace. What was happening? It was wartime, and both the sides, the English and the Germans, who were fighting war, they were now celebrating Christmas. We'll stop here today and we'll continue with the remaining in the next class.